各位观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎来到周一详谈，我是主持人 Katrina Chen 陈伟珍。今天我们邀请到了一位在卑诗省政坛里面算是非常著名的一位人物哦，他从政多年，而且也算是我非常尊敬的一位前辈哦。I don't know if I should call him my elder, but he is kind of my elder in politics especially. 那我们今天呢，很高兴能够欢迎到我们从政多年，在卑诗省不论是在市政跟在省政府都非常有經驗的政治人物，歡迎來到我們的節目。Welcome, Minister Chow 。
各位觀眾，我係周景華，我係呢個溫哥華菲舍維區嘅省議員，亦都係呢個省民服務嘅廳長。好高興今日能夠接受Katrina Chen 嘅訪問嚇。咁當然佢話我好有名，希望呢個係一個好嘅名嚇。
Oh, of course, it is a good name, I'm sure. People really appreciate all the work that I know Minister Chow, George Chow, has done over the years in our community. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. And I had the honor of working with George for many years. Personally, we've even shared an office together when we first got elected provincially in 2017. That was quite a lot of good memories.
係啊，我同Katrina 咧以前都係省議員啦，佢就係負責呢個托兒 childcare 咁。咁我嗰陣時咧就係做呢個貿易省務廳長，咁就我哋就喺呢個省議會個土庫咧就大家 share 呢個 office 嘅，咁都係共事好多年啦。咁好高興能夠喺呢度接受你嘅訪問。
是的，而且我们 George 呢是非常非常认真为民服务哦。我曾经跟他一起分享办公室的时候 ，I remember you used to work really late at night. We would be finishing work when during the minority government time, right, 8 or 9 p.m. And sometimes we have events after, and I would go out. And when I come back at midnight, sometimes I pick up my items from the office before I go home. I still see you in the office.
呢個只不過係我一般嚟講咧，就係中意即係做遲。咁我開始嘅時候咧，亦都冇好多人好早嘅，有啲人7點已經開工噶啦，我起碼要9點先開工，所以做遲啲冇乜緊要。
No, you're too modest. You're way too modest. You actually have done a lot of work, and I know one of the items that you've worked really hard for is to start the Chinese Canadian Museum. And look at the museum. Now we have, I believe, locations in Victoria and Chinatown in Vancouver, maybe and other locations as well that shares the importance of Chinese Canadian Museum. Can you talk a little bit about that work when you first started joining provincial government and former Premier John Horgan were just like, let's start a museum. How did that work?
咁呢個華裔博物館咧就已經成立咗啦，而家就喺呢個華埠，就喺呢個中華文化中心嘅對面嚇。咁最初開始嘅時候咧，就係由我哋呢個 BC 新民主黨，尤其是前已故嘅省長賀錦大力推動嘅，咁我就係協助佢。咁呢件係相當有意義嘅事，因為華人喺呢加拿大已經有240年嘅歷史，我哋經過好多嘅歷程係嘛，尤其是早期嘅歧視各方面。咁已故省長咧，佢認為咧就話華人對我哋呢個加拿大，尤其是 BC 省嘅貢獻係好大，不論喺文化、商業各方面都有好大貢獻。咁就決定咧就係去做個華裔博物館。其實大家亦都知道咧，喺2006年嘅時候咧，哈柏總理咧係有向華裔社區道歉嘅，但係當時候咧社區咧就冇一個共識，話點樣去紀念我哋呢個人頭稅事件嘅嘢，因為大家即係都冇乜溝通啦。咁其中嗰陣時候就已經有人提倡過話要搞個華裔博物館嘅，但係始終搞唔出，咁結果就由我哋自己 BC 省自己搞。基本上喺當時嘅情形100幾年、150年嘅時候，根本華裔嘅歷史就係 BC 省嘅歷史。
That's really well said, what you said at the end. Sorry, my Cantonese is not the best. 識添唔識講，唔好意思，我嘅廣東話唔係幾好。But the last thing I thought you said, it was really good, is our BC history has Chinese Canadian being a really important part of it. Recently, I work for a credit union. It's the first Chinese language credit union, and we had a Deputy Premier, Niki Sharma, visiting the credit union, and we did a roundtable. And someone mentioned during the roundtable that how he visited some of the railway that was done a long time ago. And the history was that every mile, I think it's about every mile of railway, there was a sacrifice of one Chinese Canadian's life. And when he said that, everybody was just like, wow, right? We've always talked about we want to get into the mainstream community, but we need to realize we're part of mainstream. We have always been part of this community. We've worked hard for this community. So, hearing you saying that is really, really important. And I think that's probably the reason why the Chinese Canadian Museum is very important. Can you talk a little bit about how the locations and how can people visit those museums and learn more?
咁呢個計劃開始嘅時候咧，我哋就組織咗一個徵詢委員會。咁呢個徵詢委員會咧就係由我做主導嘅，咁就去咗有8個社區。包括 Kelowna、Nanaimo 我哋亦都喺 Richmond、溫哥華好多即係有8個社區，我哋就去徵詢過，究竟呢個華裔博物館在我哋環嗰個心目中咧係應該係一個咩機構咧？咁我哋得到嘅答案咧就話佢哋唔想係一個政府嘅機構，想一個獨立嘅機構。咁所以喺呢方面咧，我哋政府咧就資助咗呢個華裔博物館咧，就幾乎有5000萬㗎啦。咁佢哋係一個獨立嘅非營利機構。咁而家成立咗之後咧，就已經喺華埠一個有歷史性嘅 building。咁呢個 building 咧就係永生號。呢位永生先生咧就係葉永生咧，係喺即係我哋1900年代開始嘅時候咧，係相當有錢，即係有名望、有錢嘅商家咁嗰座樓咧就係佢嘅居所咁當時華人全部都係住喺唐人街嘅啫。點解有唐人街咧？呢個亦都係種族歧視嘅產生物。咁而家我哋就喺呢個永生號，即係中華文化中心對面，我諗係27號。East Pender 街嗰度，咁呢個博物館咧，仍然係需要啲人去用資金資助，因為我哋買咗呢一座樓嘅時候咧，佢嗰個樓宇咧就已經係翻新過啦，保留咗以前，譬如葉生佢咧就有成，好似佢係有5個太太嘅咁佢買咗嗰座樓咧就有好多層嘅，咁每一個太太嗰啲子女佢哋住一層，咁其中咧佢自己咧有一間學校就教佢啲小童嘅各方面，咁我哋保留咗一個課室喺裏邊，咁就相當有意義啦。咁但係要將佢變為博物館咧，都仲有好多地方係需要去即係 renovation 修改嘅。
Okay. So people can visit those museums, learn about Chinese Canadian history. I've been to the one in Victoria many times with my son, and he always had a great time. And they have a lot of interactive activities with young kids, which is kind of fun, and he'll run around and playing everything.
咁呢個博物館而家喺華埠咧，除咗即係華埠係一個地標，亦都象徵咗我哋華裔加拿大人。尤其是喺 BC 省嗰個發源地，當然我哋華裔基本上亦都唔係話喺溫哥華發跡嘅，係喺其他嘅地區嘅。譬如喺溫哥華島，我哋喺 Cumberland 就最早即係啲華人去做煤礦。喺 Barkerville 即係喺呢個BC 內陸，即係近 Prince George、Williams Lake 嗰度咧，其實就係我哋華人正式開始嘅時候。嗰陣時候就係第一個。菲沙河嘅淘金熱嗰陣時係1858年㗎啦，就開始。咁嗰陣時就成立咗呢個叫紅門機構致公堂。咁佢哋嗰陣時最主要都係喺 逃離國家。我諗佢嗰陣時係啲革命黨反清復明啊咁樣嘅有啲係嗰啲咁嘅人士，咁佢哋組織咗啲致公黨，但係佢哋主要都係喺呢方面謀生，咁所以佢哋喺度設立咗一個唐人街啊各方面咁係個歷史咧係比加拿大組合，我哋加拿大1867年組合嘅呢個聯邦係比呢個我哋加拿大嘅聯邦同早嘅。所以呢啲咁嘅歷史咧，除咗你話 Barkerville 嗰度你可以睇到，但係喺我哋華裔博物館一樣可以睇到。
Wow, okay. I'm learning so much from you. Have you taken your own grandkids to those museums?
佢哋稍為太細，所以就未有機會去。只不過係5歲、6歲，但係遲啲。當然我會帶佢哋去。
Okay, yeah. See, this is what politician life is like. You work so hard for everything, and then you don't even, it's hard to find time. Of course, they're young as well, but hard to find time to take your own family. But speaking of the Chinese Canadian Museum, of course, one of the key items is to recognize our history, and of course, working together with our community to understand how that history has impacted us, right? The racism, the Chinese head tax. And how we can do better now. And I know anti-racism data collection, which is part of the Anti-Racism Act, is part of your work as a Minister for Citizen Services. Can you give us an update about how that work has been happening?
係呢個種族主義喺加拿大，尤其是喺1900年代開始咧，都係好慢行嘅，尤其是對亞裔嘅人士，係嘛？即係亞裔人士包括譬如印度嚟嘅移民啊，我哋東亞嘅移民啊，同埋原住民咧，都係冇選舉權嘅，直到1947年先有咁嘅選舉權。所以呢個係一個我哋要成日都要做嘅工作㗎。咁所以我哋 BC 新民主黨咧，2017年當選之後咧，就開始呢個做啲反種族主義嘅工作。咁個目的咧，其實就係話，我哋而家加拿大係一個多元文化嘅社會，喺多元文化嘅社會之中咧，大家逐樣要融合。咁如果要融合嘅時候，你一定需要有啲法例係有包容性嘅，係公平嘅，同埋亦都係多元化嘅嚇。咁所以我哋就喺呢方面做呢啲嘅工作。咁第一，我哋開始做嘅時候咧，就係嗰個你都記得 Resilience BC 嗰個咁樣嘅 program， 即係英文就叫 Resilience BC， 中文就真係好難譯，即係韌性嘅 BC 省咁樣去做呢啲功夫。咁就唔係淨係話我哋還嘅，係包括所有呢啲英文係叫做 racialized community， 就係呢個種族化嘅社團，再同埋原住民。我相信大家都知道原住民，尤其是原住民嗰個歷史咧，由呢個喺佢哋呢個residential school 嗰個歷史咧，我哋都洞悉到原住民佢哋嗰個以前嗰個俾人歧視同埋嗰個苦況係，如果唔係有呢個原住民學校呢單事件發生咧，我哋係一般嚟講其他人士都唔係好明白嘅所以呢個就係咁。咁我哋呢個，所以我哋就要做啲比較永久性嘅功夫。咁永久性嘅功夫咧，就要喺法律、喺法例嗰度要有。譬如好似我哋疫情期間咧，呢個仇視亞裔、東亞裔尤其是嘅人士係好緊要嘅咁好多呢啲咁嘅大家種族摩擦或者仇視嘅事件係發生咗，但係咧你冇一個法案去解決佢咧係好難嘅，因為以現在我哋嘅刑事法案嚟做咧係時間又長，亦都唔係話好即係有時又唔係好恰當，亦都唔係好 effective 咁我哋希望點樣搞呢個所謂反種族主義各方面咧，唔係搞鬥爭，而係搞融合融和。尤其是喺一個多元文化嘅社會大家能夠融合去生活咧，係一件比較困難嘅事係需要如果你喺一個國家國度裏邊係清一色一個種族嘅咧， 就冇咗呢個咁嘅種族嘅問題。但係因為我哋一個多元文化嘅社會，咁就需要我哋不同嘅族裔啊、不同嘅社區咧，要大家伸手出嚟，即係大家互相了解去。咁我哋反種族主義呢啲咁嘅法案咧，就係希望能夠得到呢啲咁樣嘅效果嚇。咁我哋首先做到喺2022年嘅時候咧，就立咗一個法案叫做反種族數據嘅法例。咁呢個法例最主要就係去收集啲資料，因為呢邊咧有啲人權法例啊，有啲資料我哋係唔可以可以收集啊。譬如好似你而家去應徵做工啊，僱主係冇權問你個歲數嘅，係咪啊？呢個係咁，所以我哋就有呢個法例，亦都成立咗一個委員會。咁呢個委員會就義務嘅。咁呢個委員會咧就有各族裔，包括原住民嚟向我哋建議話，我哋應該要收集咩數據咧？咁我哋嗰個法例裏邊咧就有明確指定咧，每年嘅5月尾咧，我哋就要向社區公佈我哋呢個研究嘅結果。咁我哋呢期嘅結果咧就研究就係3樣嘅報告。第一個報告就係話究竟我哋呢個公務員行列之中咧，少數民族係原住民佔嗰個比例幾多咧？另外政府委派嘅委員會，少數民族佢哋嘅佔嘅比例幾多咧？同埋第三薪酬嗰方面啦，所以我哋呢3個報告就出咗嚟咁2022年我哋立咗呢個法案之後咧，喺2023年咧，我哋入咗呢個反種族嘅 Act，呢個就法例。咁呢個就係行動嘅。咁由Attorney General AG 佢哋呢個律政廳就會亦都成立咗，最近2月成立咗一個小組，就推行我哋究竟有咩行動係可以改善我哋種族間嘅和諧各方面嗰啲咁樣嘅問題
So we've learned a lot from the data. Well, we've learned some information from the data, and the next part is about action.
係啦，係啊。
What?
咁我哋嗰3個咧，就第一就話公務員嘅行列裏邊咧，少數民族多數咧都要集結咗喺啲散工或者係低級嘅職務，高級嗰啲咧就稍為少。咁第二就係政府嗰啲委員會理事會譬如你係 UBC 可以委派你董事會嗰啲比例咧，都算做同我哋嗰個民族嗰個人口比例咧都相若。咁除咗有2個社區咧就係低嘅，就係我哋華裔，再加埋菲律賓裔啦。就係呢個即係嗰啲委員會，咁呢個好容易係改變嘅啫。我哋政府可以刻意去揾多啲呢啲咁適合嘅人士去做呢啲委員會嘅委員各方面，亦都鼓勵社區有志之士去 apply。咁我哋係有一個網頁嘅。咁第3就係薪酬啦。咁呢個薪酬嗰方面就唔係關於我哋省政府嘅，就係一般嘅行業嘅26個行業之中咧，就算教育水平一樣嘅呢個族裔化嘅社群咧，都係所得嘅薪酬係低於白人嘅。咁當然佢有好多原因啦，但係至少我哋初步呢個發出嚟嘅研究就係咁樣。
That's really good to know. So when will people start seeing some of the changes that you're talking about? Like how can government take the steps to address like public service hiring or wages?
咁喺政府嗰方面咧，咁因為公務員嘅行列就係受我哋政府直接嘅管轄，所以我哋係可以咁做。咁我哋第一個行動咧就係話去同呢啲即係自願嘅種族化嘅僱員。去即係訪問佢哋，究竟佢哋喺工作上有喺升職各方面個晉升各方面有受到咩阻礙係咪？係咪有文化嘅差異各方面嗰啲咁嘅嘢？咁第二咧，我哋就好鼓勵喺我哋公務行裏邊咧，就成立啲 即係譬如年青人有嗰啲 internship 即係有嗰啲又唔係叫學徒，叫實習生嘅呀。咁其他譬如我哋亦都成立咗原住民嗰個即係政府僱員裏邊一個組織，係大家互相幫助同埋了解究竟佢哋平時工作上有乜嘢受到障礙。如果佢哋想即係 advance 佢 career 嘅時候咧，佢哋係咪受到障礙呢點？咁喺其他民族，我哋亦都會着步去做呢啲咁嘅嘢。咁我哋亦都得到最高層，我哋呢個公務員嗰個 deputy minister 就係去推行呢一樣嘢嘅。咁嗰個關於委員會啊、組織啊嗰啲咧，我哋可以就睇招聘多啲喺呢啲少數民族裏邊去賣廣告啊，叫佢哋參加咁嗰個薪酬不同嗰度咧，我相信就多啲需要研究啦。咁即係嗰個結論咧，就話你喺26個工種呢啲唔係政府嘅非中咧，就算同一個教育，因為我哋一般嚟講認為你教育水平越高，你嘅薪酬就越高。但係呢個喺白人嘅社會就對，但係喺呢啲族裔咧就冇咁樣嘅比例。咁究竟係咩問題咧？因為呢啲我哋已經係 take into 嗰個人嘅年齡教育水平係咪喺度出世嗰啲咁樣嘅原因，我哋都有考慮到嘅。
Right. I think the examples that you raised are very helpful because when you talked about culture differences, right? Like I remember growing up, my parents always tell me to be modest. And when I go for an interview, it's really hard for me to brag about myself. But sometimes in a different culture, that may be a different thing. Like we present ourselves in a very different way. So I'm really glad that the government is looking into it. But what happens if someone is experiencing racism or feeling like they've been treated differently because of their race currently? I understand the government also has a helpline that can help.
係啦，咁喺呢個律政廳 AG 嗰個廳咧，就成立1年前咧就成立咗呢個種族主義嘅 helpline，即係求助熱線。咁咧你哋係可以將嗰啲資料放上個電視。啲觀眾如果有需要可以打呢個電話嘅。咁呢1年之內咧，我哋就有接到807個電話。咁呢807個電話咧，我哋就做咗有成2300個轉介，即係 referral。咁轉介俾佢咧，有時可能係協助佢哋報案有時去某一啲機構譬如法律援助處或者租務處嗰啲咁樣嘅嘢。咁我哋收到呢啲嘅資訊咧，亦都唔係話完全係因為種族問題嘅，即係有1/3咁上下。但係有好多譬如係因為佢個人喺工作上同埋佢個人嗰個情緒各方面咁。但係雖然佢唔係種族嘅問題，但係如果佢能夠打到電話嚟，即係需要求助，呢個係好重要嘅。譬如我個人咧就好驚訝喺呢個疫情時間咧，有一位華裔嘅土生土長嘅人士，咁就俾人哋語言嗰方面侮辱嗰啲咁聽。咁佢咧就真係好悲傷，亦都以佢一個土生土長冇言語嘅障礙咧，佢都唔知點樣做，求助無門。咁如果你有呢個咁嘅熱線咧，因為我哋咧嗰啲人士係專業嘅人士，即係有輔助創傷同埋嗰啲咁嘅人士。咁呢個熱線咧，亦都可以有語言服務嘅。你打入嚟，如果你話我需要講廣東話、國語乜嘢，你可以就講，就會有即時嘅翻譯，亦都係免費嘅。咁有你嗰啲打入嚟咧係好自願嘅。我哋唔會問你啲問題，你唔用就答。譬如你話我唔想講我年齡係乜嘢，或者我係族裔乜嘢，你都唔需要講。你係需要求助，需要揾一個人同你解決問題或者訴你嘅心聲。咁呢個係相當有意義嘅。
Has government follow up with any of the people who have complained and then being referred to other places, and how satisfied are they with the response?
我相信嗰度咧，我哋就冇咁嘅 follow up，因為我哋暫時嚟講就係服務。你打電話嚟，我哋盡量就解答你嘅問題，同埋轉介 referral 嚇。咁當佢轉介咗嘅時候咧，但係佢哋亦都有反映得到咧，就有94% 人士都滿意話我打咗電話入嚟啦，係我係得到解決呢個問題。即係我諗佢打完電話同啲接線人員即係傾過之後咧，佢覺得會問佢話：咁我係咪解決咗呢個問題啊？咁有90%嘅人士都話佢嘅問題得到解決。
Okay, that's really good to know. And I understand this is only the start of a lot of work that we have to continue. And anti-racism is not something that the government can fix everything. All of us have to do something about it. So even having this conversation, learning about Chinese Canadian history, and talking about how important it is that we continue to build a more welcoming community. I stopped using the word inclusion because I feel like sometimes we're merely being included. What we need to do is to actually create something together, right? We're transforming the system to do systemic changes instead of just being included, which I think it touches on a lot what you said.
就係我哋其實尤其政府架構啊，同埋好多大機構咧，佢有存在咧就啲叫做系統性嘅systemic racism 系統性嘅歧視或者機構嘅歧視，咁我哋又係需要去消除呢啲障礙。呢個所謂反種族主義唔係話我哋要有一個限額，有幾多人喺某一個工作崗位乜嘢，唔係，而係話如果佢係一個有能力嘅人士，我哋希望佢能夠發揮到佢嘅能力。唔會受因為佢嘅種族嘅方面咧而受到障礙。
That's correct. Well, thank you so much, Minister Chow. It's been an honor having you here. And actually, I'm more used to calling you Uncle George. And for those who know Minister Chow, he's very, very down to earth, super easygoing. And there's so many of us that has a lot of respect for you. And I've learned a lot from you throughout my years working with you too. So glad to have this opportunity to have you here again. Thank you so much.